So, what do you do when the lender calls you with your client's pre approval letter for $225,000, but you know that everything that's on the market that they would be mostly interested in is probably 300? It's a pretty substantial difference in what your approval's for. And listen, in today's market, finding a buyer is super challenging, right? Can we all agree with that? And so to get past that hurdle and then to also get them approved is that second hurdle. Once you pass those two barriers, the last hurdle you want to deal with is that you can't find a home that they love. And prices typically will solve this problem, right? So in this video, I am sharing my 3 mind-blowing strategies that I use every single time and it never fails me. I'm sharing it all with you in this video and I am really excited about this one. So definitely grab a drink, grab a snack. This is going to be a good one. And hit that like button if you are excited to learn these 3 strategies. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. All right, let's go ahead and get in it. I got a little presentation. All right, so I can stay on track. 3 strategies. This is us. We're like, holy crap! We've got the buyer, we've got them approved, but the approval is just not enough. There's nothing in the MLS that's really matching what they want. Strategy number 1, we've got to be creative with our verbals, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean by that because you're probably like, Melissa, what are you talking about? Here's the deal. Every listing has a story, and I think I've shared this as of recording right now today in February 2025. Lord knows this may change next month, but as of right now, sellers aren't selling because they just casually want to move across town. It's just not happening, right? So the sellers that are selling today, they're selling for a reason, and it's typically a life reason. Unless, of course, they're just a non-financial client. They're in the upper caliber of like a million, depending on your market. The ones that money's not really an object. If they want to buy a house, they'll buy a house. I'm not speaking of that market. So this is what you're going to do. Let's assume that we have a little couple. Oh shoot, where's my ex? Here we go. Oh no, that's not it. Where is my ex? Here it is. Okay. Let's assume you have a cute little couple and they're gonna want to look. I'm pulling up my Flex MLS. This will work in any MLS system. Okay. So let's assume we have a cute little couple, they want to be in Youngsville, and their approval is for $225,000. One of their biggest criteria, they need 4 bedrooms. All right, cool. So let's see what pops up. All right, so we got our 225 approval. We're going to go up to, I tell you what, we'll even go up 10,000. Let's go to 235 and let's see what's on the market for them. Oh boy, we have a whole total of a one listing and it's actually for $145,000. Yeah. And this is not going to work for them, right? And we've shown it to them. We went out there. They're like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm not interested in this. They want something newer and all the things, right? But it's a 4 bedroom. Okay. Obviously, you need to scour the MLS and you need to look for 3 bedrooms with a bonus room, right? Might not have a closet, but it could definitely work for a 4 bedroom. That's not even an option on my strategy list, but that would be the very first thing that I would do because there are a lot of 3 bedrooms with bonuses. And the best way you can typically tell that is by the square footage. So like if your traditional 3 bedroom is 1,500 square feet and you notice one that's like 1,700 or in that ballpark, odds are it might have a bonus or something like that. So definitely don't discredit those, okay? But for this demonstration and our little couple here, we're going to pretend that they need a 4 bedroom. All right. So that gives you an idea as to what they can get today for $225,000 and it'd be a 4 bedroom. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come over here to quick search. All right. And you can do this in any MLS. We know we want to be in the Youngsville area. Okay. So we're going to go Youngsville. We know we want 4 bedrooms. So I'm doing my minimum bedroom at 4. And here's the big kicker though. We're going to add a field if this might or might not already be on your MLS, but what you're going to do is you are looking for days on I think on here it's let's see. DOM. Yeah. You're looking for DOM, right? Days on market, cumulative in this example. All right. So here's the deal. I want to know what's been on the market for a little while. because odds are if it's been on the market for a little while, it has had a pretty decent price decrease. Okay. So let's say that we are going 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's go with 120 days on minimum. Okay. And then we'll just do 9999 for maximum. All right, cool. So this means everything that is about to actually, let me also, we need to add our price. Now, here's the other thing. We know our approval is for $225,000, but what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and round up to the next 100. So let's just search for a listing price of $300,000. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to show you how this is going to work because you're like, well, that's 75,000 more. No, I know. Calm down. Hold on. I'm going to show you. Okay. All right. So cumulative days on market. We want to see active listings that are still for sale in the market that have been on the market for at least 4 months, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 120 days or more. Okay. We want at least a 4 bedroom and we want to go up to $300,000. Okay, here's the deal. So you ready for this? Here we go. Boom, list. Let's see what pops up. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and sort this by seating. So I'm going to get the lowest of priced first. I'm going to go with the lowest one first. Now, let me pop this up so you can see a little example here. All right. So if I look at the detail on this, this is a brand new home. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, most builders, most subdivision, this strategy is not going to work. Okay. This is going to be more for your resale clients. So, and you can typically tell because, builders do not, when they do a reduction, it's not for very much. So like right here, you can tell he reduced what, $5. I mean, come on, that's just so he could repopulate in the hot sheets, right? So we're going to skip that one. Let's look at this detail. Okay, this is 6 to 10 years old. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath. Now the next thing that you're going to want to look for, because this is a pretty decent result list right here. I only need about 2 or 3 of them. Okay, just 2 or 3. They're only going to buy one house, right? But I need to be able to provide my client with some options. That's our goal as the expert real estate agents that we are. They want a house. Our job is to bring them one, right? And so we're going to have to get a little creative, but in any case, so what I'm going to do, I take a look at this 55, 60, 65, 70. This one has done a price reduction of $15,000. It's decent, but I'm trying to find a price reduction of at least 20 in my market, right? And if you use this strategy, I'm telling you, if you use this strategy, you will notice what your market's looking like as far as decreasing, right? So 15,000, it's okay, but I'm not gonna like make that like a priority kind of deal. All right, let's look at the next one. This is 4 to 5 years old. Okay, they have not reduced at all. They've been on the market since September of last year. Forget that. That's not gonna work. Let's go to the next one. This is new. Scratch that. We're gonna get there. Hold on, hold on. Hang with me. This is 1 to 3. They have not reduced at all. Let's take a look at this one. This one has reduced by $10,000. It's decent. It's not enough. Remember, we're trying to find the 20,000 or more. Here we go. Here we go. Check this out. Original list price was at 300,000. I'm just rounding it up. It was 299, but I'm going to round it to 300. They are right now listed at 275. Okay, cool. So we're going to use this one as an example. It's 4 bedrooms. It's actually 3 bathrooms, which is even a bonus for our pretend couple because 2 bathrooms would have been fine, right? And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to figure out the listing story. So first things first is let me click on the photos. The very first thing I notice, top of the whole deal here that I noticed flipping through these pictures, this is a vacant home. Somebody is paying a mortgage on this thing, probably in addition to insurance and taxes and all the wonderful things that go with that. In addition, they're paying somewhere else to live. So they're holding 2 mortgages. Every day this thing sits on market, they are losing money, period. Okay. So we're going to flip through a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay. This would definitely work for my client. All right, now I'm going to show story right here. Okay, all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this address list right here, and I'm just going to use Zillow. There's other third party sites you can use, but I like Zillow a little bit. I've used it, enough to understand it. One thing about Zillow is when it shows a price cut, it's only going to show the most recent price cut. It's not going to give you the whole full picture as to how much was reduced throughout the life of the listing. We know this because, I mean, you can go to the MLS right here and see that it's been reduced $25,000. Most recent was for 20. Okay. So, what you're going to do, you're going to bounce over here to Zillow, you're going to come down just a little bit more. You're going to come to price history. Okay, this is where the rest of the story unfolds. Okay, so look, it was listed in July of last year for 299. All right, they dropped 6K the next month. Well, not even 30 days later, they dropped 6 grand. They also put it up for rent for 2,300. They need to get rid of this mortgage, right? They're balancing two mortgages. It's not good. It's not fun. Okay, they got to do something with this property. All right. January of 2025, they did a pretty decent reduction right here at 275. All right, when they did that, so they went from 295 to two, let's just say 19 grand, right? That was the most recent. A month later, it went under contract. All right, so their showings probably started picking up. They got it under contract. 3 days later, well, actually, no. 3 days later, they removed the for rent listing. So that's gone away. They're like, cool, we got a set buyer. Let's go ahead and take that for rent listing down. So that was that. And then on the 21st, which would have been enough time for inspections, probably negotiations of inspections, something happened and whatever, right? Buyer may have didn't get the qualification, but get fully qualified, whatever, right? Or it could have been just a bad inspection, whatever. Okay. It came back on market on February 21st, yesterday. All right, at 275. So here's the thing. Here you go. Now you're back to the drawing board again. Sellers over here really sweating. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. And the listing agent's probably a little bored with this listing too. They've had it since July of last year. All right. So if I know they have reduced this price $25,000 and it has been on market, I mean, what? July, August, September, October, November, December, January. 7 months. That's 7 months. Let's just assume that their mortgage is, 2,200 a month. I don't know. That's $15,000 every day is costing them money. Here's what I'm going to do. All right. And this is where the strategy right here is creative verbals. I'm calling this listing agent. I'm calling this listing agent and I'm saying, hey, William, because William's the listing agent. And I'm saying, hey, William, this is Melissa with Real Broker. I have a super awesome little couple that I think would absolutely love this home. It definitely checks off all the boxes, but I haven't taken them to look because, William, to be honest with you, our approval's at 225. And then I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let William speak. He's either going to say, you've lost your mind. There's no way they're going to go that low. Or he's going to say, you know what? They may be open. They're super motivated. Go show your clients. And if he says that, if he says go show your clients, I'm going to just ask him. I'm just going to say, look, do you mind? Because I don't want to get my clients excited. I don't want to waste all of our times. Do you mind doing a verbal with your seller and just kind of explaining the situation? This is sort of where we at on our approval, and see if that might be something they would be willing to consider, and let him go have that conversation with them before I schedule the showing to take my clients out there. Now, if depending on how the rest of that conversation goes, there's two other options you could do, right? So the first option is just sell it to us for what we're approved at, 225. We're done. They're done. We're done. Everybody can walk away. Everybody's happy, right? Second option, remember this house was listed for rent. So you could always go to William and say, look, I noticed that you guys had the house listed for rent. Would the sellers be open to maybe a lease purchase option where we, kind of maybe not pay market rent, right? Because we're gonna have a little bit of a break, but maybe we cover their mortgage plus 2 or 300 a month, right? We do a 2-year term, maybe at a price of like 265 or 260, negotiate that price, and just say, look, we'll do a 24-month term. Hopefully rates will kind of settle off by then. So up to 2 years, once rates settle off, we'll finance at that price to keep their PITI where they're approved and all is well. See if that might be an option. The third thing you could do would be asking William if the seller's loan is assumable, right? So if this seller, as long as there's not a huge equity position, odds are if they bought this home 2 or 3 years ago, they don't have much equity in it anyway. By the time they pay agent fees and all this stuff, but if they do have whatever their equity position is, meaning whatever check they're supposed to receive at closing minus what they owe on the loan, that's the amount your buyers have to come up with at closing to assume that mortgage. Okay. So, to be able to pay that gap. Now, if their loan is assumable, your buyer would go get qualified with their lender. They can take that rate. Now, if this seller may have a rate, let's just assume it's at 4%. Well, now your buyers can probably qualify for a little bit more than that 225 because their PIT, they have a little bit more room in their PITI, their payment insurance, interest, taxes, and all that stuff, right? So, that is definitely an option. So again, three there, obviously verbal negotiate on what your clients are approved at. Number one. Number two, talk about a lease purchase option, see if there's anything there. Number three, can this loan be assumed? Listen, this listing agent has had this listing since July of last year. They're tired of this listing. They need to get creative just as much as you're trying to be creative with your client, right? And so you're really trying to make something happen. But what you're trying to do really essentially, you're trying to pre-negotiate those terms verbally on the front end, then take your clients to look to see. Now, listen, here's the thing. A couple things could happen. You could take your clients and they not like the house or whatever, right? But now you've kind of helped the listing agent and the seller out. So now the listing agent kind of has an idea of where the seller sits. The seller maybe think of some other options about price and everything else. So it works. It definitely works. Yes, it might take an extra hour of time, but it could be the difference between a client and a closing and getting it done and nothing at all, and you definitely don't want your client to purchase something they don't love or aren't super happy with. So that's my thoughts on that. So that would be one that I would definitely call on. Let's look at another one really quick. Okay, so if I go to this one is 31 to 40 years old, 275, 300. Here's another one, $25,000 reduction. I'm looking for anything over 20. So let's go ahead, pop this address over into Zillow and see what's going on over here. Is this fun? Isn't this so much fun? I think it's fun. If you think it's fun, give the video a like. Tell me what you think. All right, here we go. Here we go. Price history. Okay. So they listed it for rent for 2,400. Then they took that off like not even 30 days later. Listed it for sale in August of last year for $300,000. Wow. Okay. Then they came down 15,000 on the following month, and then another 10,000 the month after that. Okay. So they're moving the prices in pretty decent. I don't need this. Let me close this. They're moving this one in pretty decent chunks. Now, again, I'm looking at these pictures. It's a vacant listing. Somebody's paying a mortgage on this thing, right? Somebody's paying a mortgage. And they're also paying it on here, and every day it sits, it's costing them money. So, same situation. I'm calling the listing agent. Hey, Susan. Hey, Heidi, because they're the listing agents. I have a buyer. I think they would really love your home. I haven't taken them to look at it. And listen, if they say, well, take them to look at it, just say, well, look, can you do me a favor? Because I don't want to get them super excited about it. Can you do me a favor and at least have that conversation with your seller? I don't want to waste your time, my time, seller's time, buyer's time, and their emotions and all of that to even see if that would be something they would entertain. And if they would, what? Would they entertain our 225 and just being done with, excuse me, being done with it? Or are they open to possibly doing a lease purchase option for like 2 years or something like that, right? Or would they, is their loan assumed? Do they have a loan on it that maybe my buyers could go get approved through their lender? And if they can, what's that equity position? Because remember, if you do an assumable loan, your buyer has to go get approved by that seller's lender, and that seller's going to want their equity spot at close. Okay, so if it's if, for example, if it's at 275 and the balance on their loan is 200, your buyer goes and gets approved for 200, but we'll need to bring the rest to close, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, let's look at one more and then we will move along. See, this is another one that's 10,000. It's not terrible, but it's, and if you're going through here, oh, that's a new one. This one's new. And is this new? Oops. Let's see. No, this is not new. Here's a good one. Holy moly. Look at this one. This one's $32,000 reduction. Look at this. So watch this. Let's check this one out. $32,000 reduction right here. And then the last reduction was for $100 in January. I'm looking at it. What do I see? I see vacant pictures. It's a vacant home. Let's see. They bought it in 2022. So that right there tells me they have no equity in this thing. They're probably literally going to break even, right? Yeah, look, they got 300. So they bought 300. Now, it doesn't mean that's what they owe, because they could have put a lot down and maybe they're going to take a little bit of a loss. I don't know. But they listed for 332, went to 320, which is 12,000, went down another 10,000, went down another 10,000, and then 1,000, or no, 100, and then they've got it up for rent for 2,200. So this is one that I also would definitely call. And I know that the prices are different, right? I know that they're off by $75,000 in this case, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now I'm going to give you some confidence on this, okay? My own personal recent listing, check this out. And I can tell you this because we closed, right? We closed on it. So I feel confident telling you this. Check this out. This was my listing. We listed way too high. I knew we were too high. The market had made a really big shift. This was an investor owner. He had bought it, paid a little too much, took a little too long on the reno, got caught in the market. It is what it is. Okay. Let me show you this price history. Check this out. Where are we at? When did I put this on? Okay. Yeah. May of 2024, listed for 3,099, $310,000. The next month we reduced 10,000. The next month we reduced another 10,000. The same month we reduced 5,000. The same month in July we reduced another 5,000 to give it that even 10. A few days later we went down another 5,000. August we went down 15, or what is that? 15, 75, 70, no, 5, sorry, 5. October we went down 10. November we went down 10. December we went down 10. You get the gist, right? And then in December we finally got it under contract and got it closed and all of that. But let me tell you the story on this, okay? The sellers already knew they were taking a loss on this project. They knew it. They were like, it is what it is. We're going to take a loss. We're going to try to just make it up on another property. We got caught in the market. We paid a little bit too much, spent a little bit too much on reno. Timing didn't work out. It is what it is. Okay. They already were willing to go. Remember, we were listed at 310. right here, right? They were already willing to go to 200, okay, and take that hit of a loss. But what they wanted to do was just trickle it down just to see if there would be any buyers interested in that through that process. And essentially, make a long story short, this buyer ended up getting it for 230,000 plus got 10,000 in closing costs plus got a brand new roof at $10,000. So all in all, we walked away at 200 grand. They already had that number in their mind by August of last year. Okay. So even though August of last year we were at 275, they already had the 200 in their mind. These sellers, you never know. Okay? So if anything, this should give you confidence to not be feel like weird or kind of odd calling the listing agents. This is a super strange market that we're in. And right now it just is what it is. Trust me, these listing agents, after 6 months of it being on the market, you're like, let's just get this thing done. So if anything, that should give you some confidence to get in there and get that thing sold, get them a house. So that is how you figure out the listing story. And I'm going to point out one other thing on Zillow. This is just kind of a side note. I'm just going to click on a random listing right here. Let me show you something that I've always found right here where it shows days on market, number of views, and number of saves. Traditionally, the saves, about 10% of that are going to be views in most cases. So on average, I can almost guarantee you this home has been on the market for 46 days and it has had about 5 showings. Okay, if I'm being honest. And in our market today, you need about 10 showings to get one offer. That's just really what's happening right now. Okay. So I hope that helped on that one. So now let's look at the second one, bad photos. So these other two options are going to go really, really quick. I promise. I just really wanted to be thorough on how to do, do the searches, look for the 20,000 and more and all of that good stuff. Now, if that doesn't work for you, or you don't see anything, or these agents don't want to negotiate, sellers don't want to negotiate, next thing you want to do is look at the really ugly pictures. I call them ugly pictures because it is what it is. They're taken on a cell phone somewhere, and they just don't look very pretty. I'm going to show you two that I sold, exact same situation. So this is one I sold, and I'm sorry if it's small, but this is definitely cell phone photos and or cropped. I don't really know. But these were the pictures of this beautiful home. And I'm going to tell you now, this home is absolutely stunning. Like you would never know it from these pictures. Never. And when I sent this to my buyer, I sent her this listing and I knew the listing checked all the boxes. Like it 100% checked all the boxes. She's like, no, I just, no, a lot of buyers, they don't have that vision, right? So it's our job to help them understand, look, this checks all your boxes, like we really need to check this one out. I don't look at the pictures, kind of thing. And if you want to go preview it for them, you definitely could. But make a long story short, I talked her into it. She's like, I really don't want to go see that. I'm like, come on, let's just go see. 15 minutes in that showing, she's like, I love it, let's write an offer. She found her home, and we had been looking for a little while. Okay. Second one, same situation right here. I had a sweet little couple family flying in from Colorado. They were only going to be here a day. So I had a route of homes to look at, like 12, I think. This was like our fourth or fifth one on the list. She wanted to skip it. She said, honestly, I looked at the pictures and I don't really like it. I don't like it. And I'm like, why? Why don't you like it? I'm just curious because I knew it checked all the boxes. She's like, "Well, the wood's kinda yellow." I'm like, "Okay, well, let's just go look." Well, at the end of the day, these are oversaturated photos, okay? When you walk in this house, this wood is so light, it's absolutely stunning. This house is gorgeous, like, you would never imagine it from these pictures, I'm telling you. 4th house in, okay, I had, like, 12 on our route for the day. She walked in, same situation, 10, 15 minutes, she said, "I don't need to see any more. This is our house. Let's write it up." So, I tell you this to tell you that don't overlook the ugly picture homes, right? The pictures that just don't look that great All right. Check all the box stuff, right? The bedrooms, the square footage, the neighborhood, and you can always kind of come around and like Google image the stuff now to kind of see if it's the vibe that they might be interested in. But don't underestimate those because I've gotten closings from that client, got them their dream home from that. And another one, this is a really big one. If those first two strategies don't work for you, check this out. So, this one house I sold right here, she wanted to be in the Athens area. Athens was like her thing. So, everything I was searching was within within the MLS was in Athens, Georgia, right? Athens, Georgia, and I've got this as a marker right here. But this little Mexican restaurant, you could tell right here, this is an Athens, Georgia address. Okay, we couldn't find anything. I mean, stuff during that time was just flying off the shelves. There was nothing. Everything was in constant bidding wars and the whole thing. We ended up, or I ended up branching that search out just a little bit. I went into Hull, completely different county, completely different city. They didn't have children, schools didn't matter, none of that. So you could tell from this Mexican restaurant to the actual house, you could literally throw a stone. When I started searching in the whole market, a whole different ballgame of homes popped up, right? Nobody's really over there. So wherever you can find properties that are right on that line of where your clients really want to be location wise could make or break you getting them a home that they want. And when I drove her here, she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is not considered Athens." I'm like, "Well, over that road right there it is. On this side is not." And her taxes are lower and everything, so it's like it's a win-win, right? She still got all the shopping and everything she wanted that Athens had to offer in it, and it just worked. So the last little thing that I wanted to share right here, you can always ask, right? And finding those pocket listings, go into your target area, mail them, postcards, door knock, leave letters, go through expired listings, contact those owners because they're expired now. Um, Agent to agent, you could do Facebook groups, email blasts, etc. Go to your sphere, past clients, personal Facebook posts, all of that. And listen, this entire deal right here I have put together over in the Etsy shop. It's a buyer needs bundle. You get all three brands. You get the black, the blue, the pink for $5, but I've written it all for you. I've got everything you need from agent to agent to your sphere, sending them letters, whatever. Go into your target market, postcards, letters, all that kind of stuff's all here for you. So I'll link that below. But at the end of the day, it's really, and I know this may seem time consuming, but I promise you, the more you do it, the faster you get with it. And if you just sort of go down that list, one, two, three, one, two, three, you're gonna find them a home. There's no doubt in my mind. So I see it all the time in Facebook groups from other agents, and they're like, I can't find my client a home. I'm like, okay, oh man, I wish I could call her or him. So that's why I wanted to create a video because that's what I do. And I have never once ever gone to a client and said, sorry, there's just nothing out there for you. There's always, you just have to get creative. You've got to get creative. And that's the difference between a client and a closing. If you go the lease purchase option, look, you can negotiate some of your commission on the front end, right? Um, and so that keeps you fed for a little while, and then that client is secured for close when that time comes. And meanwhile, they're sending you referrals and everything else to help grow your business. So I hope this provided some motivation and inspiration. There's nothing left for us to do but get out there. Let's get it. And I will see you on the next one. I love you so much. Bye.